money. I'm Carl Lewis, really running the best. Car moving through these hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. Car moving through these hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. I'm really just running for money. I'm love flow, Joe chasing the check. I'm really gonna run up the money. I'm Carl Lewis, really running the best. Car moving through these hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. Car moving through these hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed.
From a city that's played host to 10 Super Bowls, here's a look inside the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans. The setting in this dome just serves to amplify the excitement of the folks in New Orleans as their Saints burst from the tunnel a moment ago. They're set, and we're set as well as the Saints get ready to do battle with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. Devontae Freeman, they're not going to get him. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Devontae Freeman, 73 yards. And the Bucs have taken a first-quarter lead. We thought they may be a quick strike offense this season. That is lightning quick. Not bad for the first drive of the year.
That has to actually exceed expectations, doesn't it? Because most teams want to be a quick strike offense. They want to score as quickly as possible and run a defense into submission. What they have to understand is, while they got it done there, long way to go. Don't get discouraged if you have to run a few more plays on your next drive.
So Bree's going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll run for the first time with Mark Ingram. Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 20. Breeze to throw on 2nd down. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Thomas. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 35. Breeze on the hook up to Thomas for the New Orleans first. They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Sammy! Over. 5-1. Wide. Get wide. Clear shot.
They run it again with Kamara. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. Give them 4 on the carry there, but that only takes them back to where they started. 3rd and 10.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Over the middle, open is Thomas. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. And a nice gain at 21 yards. So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Hey, easy.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step. On 2nd down, Kamara. And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. 7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up. Alvin Kamara really settling into the league in his 2nd season. And, of course, he came out of Tennessee, but not a lot of people remember he started at Alabama.
He did and got caught in that big mix of running backs at Bama. And they like those bigger, thicker runners, those guys who can break down defenses through the middle. Alvin Kamara ended up leaving Alabama, going to a junior college for a while. I believe he went to Hutchinson Junior College before matriculating at Tennessee and finding his way to the NFL, where he is now a star.
Got it.
On the counter, here's Kamara. And some space here. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Kill.
Back to the ground, this time with Ingram. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Breeze. Throw left side, taken in by Meredith. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down.
Well, he's looking sharp right from the get-go here. Tough division. They needed this kind of a start. But I think this is part of where scripting comes in. We always hear about the scripting of plays, how they're going to be called. Everyone dress rehearses their script, and right now they're following it to a T.
And for that opening drive, so part of the script still to come, right, partner?
Yeah, no doubt about it. We've got a ways to go with that. But you can tell that they worked on the script the entire week in practice, and it's paying off for them.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. And this is Central Florida's Traquan Smith, his first NFL catch. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. They'll wind up getting 7 on the completion, but they'll still be faced now with a 3rd and goal situation. Maybe the first big test of the season here on both sides. This is 3rd and goal.
Kill. 95-56.
Breeze now on 3rd and goal. Escaping the pressure right. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down just inside the 5-yard line.
3rd and goal, they decided to throw for it, but how about the play defensively? Couldn't find anyone open. Left him nowhere to go with the football. Had to absorb the sack.
And Lutz's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So you're a boxing guy. How do you score that on your boxing card? A very long drive, but 3 points.
And I really want to do my boxing analyst voice right here, but I'm going to keep it normal for us, right? I call it a draw. That type of a drive has to feel good, right? You take it all the way downfield, you control the ball, control the clock. But they only got 3 points out of it. So defensively, it could have been worse, right? So I give it a draw.
Well, these Buccaneers coming off a 4-game drop-off from a year ago, 9-7 in Dirk Cutter's first season to 5-11 last year. It's now 10 straight seasons without a playoff appearance. And, in fact, they have not won a playoff game, Charles, since winning Super Bowl 37.
And in order for them to get back to the playoffs, they've got to go through their division, which is awfully tough and high-powered on offense. Atlanta, New Orleans, Carolina. So the Buccaneers made the investment. Jason Pierre-Paul from the Giants on the defensive side of the ball. Also picked up Bo Allen and Vinnie Curry from the Philadelphia Eagles. So the defensive front taken care of. They also picked up Vita Vea, a massive defensive tackle from Washington in the 1st round of the draft. Then they picked up a couple of corners. They know that on the defensive side of the ball, that's where they have to make their biggest gain to chase down their division rivals.
Again, they'll run with Freeman. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give them 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn them a fresh set of downs. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you've said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
This is the rookie from USC, Ronald Jones, his first NFL carry. And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40. Second down, Freeman. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
Well, that play was over before it even got started. Thanks for nothing, huh? How about that? That sets up a very difficult 3rd down call now.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Bucs in possession of the football as we begin the 2nd quarter. They've got it 3rd and 10 here to start things out. Here's Winston. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. This is taken at the 15. Give them 11 yards that time on the return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. We focus our attention here on the Saints offense as they come out. And last year, they were coming into 2017 with 3 straight 7-9 seasons. Well, they got it turned around. Won the NFC South at 11-5. Won a wild card game, and then we all know the story. Heartbreak in Minneapolis.
But it's one that won't break this team, I don't believe. I think it's actually something that they can use as fodder for the season, as something to build upon. And when you think of New Orleans, you naturally think of offense. You think of Drew Brees. You think of Alvin Kamara last year as a rookie, making the big plays. Mark Ingram running the football, throwing it to Mike Thomas out wide. But the key to this team continuing to get better remains on defense. And I think it was shown in the draft when they made the big move and drafted Marcus Davenport out of UTSA to rush the passer. They know they've got to win their division, which means slowing down some high-powered offenses in Tampa Bay, Carolina, and Atlanta.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. And they went for a big play through the air on second down, couldn't connect. Now it's third. The Saints on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. From the gun, it's Breeze. And Ginn's got it. Touchdown, New Orleans. Ted Ginn, 67 yards. And the Saints are able to cash in for 6.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. This offense trots back out there now, and as they do, Charles, one thing to point out that we saw a second ago are some of the new rules in the NFL this year regarding kickoffs.
Yeah, nowadays, the kickoff team, no more running starts. Remember that when you kind of circle a guy around and here he goes? No more. You have to start, close to the ball, and when it's kicked, then you get to take off and go, so you can't build up your speed that way. Also, when you're returning it, remember those wedges that we used to say where guys would form together, 2 or 3 guys? No more of those. So it'd be a lot more man-on-man, one-on-one blocking. And also they have rules about where people have to be when the ball's kicked, where they have to be when the ball's caught. So to me, it's much more like a punt return than it is an actual kickoff return. So I'm eager to see if teams now take their punt returners, those nifty guys who make people miss in the open field, and make them the kickoff returners as well, because I think you can still get big plays in this area if you have the right people back there.
And Bright has it over the middle. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
Let's go.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And he'll take it down to the 30-yard line. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. Jameis now on 1st down. He's going to let it go deep. And that is caught by Jackson for a Buccaneer touchdown. Deshaun Jackson, a 24-yard touchdown. And the Bucs are able to strike for 6. Extra point up and good by Catanzaro. And the lead is now 14-10. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here. There have been points on the board. We just saw back-to-back touchdown drives. I love it. I'm high-fiving our statistician, Christian McLeod, and you're angry. You're a defensive guy.
If you met one of my defensive coordinators, God rest his soul, I'm surprised he isn't in this booth right now wanting to really take you on. This is not football the way he sees it. He wants a good old-fashioned kicking game, defense, field position, and we're getting an up-and-down-the-field game here.
I'll take him. Where's his tombstone?
Boot Hill, baby.
They'll run with Ingram here to begin the drive. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Mark Ingram really coming into form in the NFL. First 5 years in the league, didn't have a 1,000-yard season, but he's done it the past 2 years.
Yeah, and I think a couple of reasons for that. Number one, offensive line has been rebuilt, and they put a lot of resources into that, and they've gotten better. Number two, he's had great running mates back there. Tim Hightower 2 seasons ago, then last year, of course, the sensational Alvin Kamara. And last but not least, the defense is playing so much better in New Orleans, they don't have to throw the ball as much on offense. He can run the ball even more.
So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 27. Breeze now on 1st down. Looking for Thomas. He's got him. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas, 27 yards. And the Saints are able to cash in for 6. And his kick is right through. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Now the Buccaneers offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match in a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. Now that play was doomed right from the start.
They just about ran into every defender on that one, didn't he? It felt like everyone got a piece of that tackle.
Freeman again. And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
On 3rd down, Winston trying to lay one up deep. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. There defensively to break that one up, Ken Crawley.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Anger is on to punt, and he gets this one away. Taken in at the 22. 12 yards on the return that time. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They have to be pleased with the way that they've moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
On 1st and 10, here's Breeze. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess.
set. Go down. Hey, watch this, watch this. Hey, left, 28 left. 21.
Breeze will try again on second down. Flushed out right, and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by M.J. Stewart, and he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage, but instead he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. Easy.
So 2 minutes to go in a wild first half. We're back to New Orleans after this. Second down, Winston. He's going to let this go deep for Jackson. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored one, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
Ready.
Winston. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
And Catanzaro's kick is right through, and that will tie things at 17 all. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks.
Now a hit and a loose football. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And they'll have the ball set up in the red zone at the 16-yard line.
As that ball got away from him, and he saw the opposing team recover it.
You felt his pain?
Oh, I felt his pain, and you know what was going through his head. Tuck it away. Take care of the ball. All the things he hears all week in practice, he didn't carry it over into the game.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. He lost 6 there on the first down play. So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a second and long.
Ready, here we go. White 25.
Now a handoff. It's Freeman. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 12 yards is the pickup there, and that'll bring up a third down.
It seemed like the situation was second and a mile to go for a first down, which screams what? Throw the football. You got to pass in order to try and pick up that kind of yardage. But in this case, they ran a tendency breaker because the tendency is for defenses to be out there and be set up for a pass. So you break tendency and actually run the football. That changes everything because if you're able to find a crease, you often have bigger guys working against smaller guys downfield. They picked up excellent yardage there to bring up a third down.
The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2.
Ready. Black 22. Hot. Hey, let's go. Here we go.
Oh, and now movement and a whistle, and they may have to rethink their plans on 4th down. So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. And Catanzaro's kick is right through. And with that, they take the lead here 20-17. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
The Saints coming out now to take the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you've got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
They start the drive on the ground. Kamara, and able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Now Breeze. Over the middle, it's Thomas. And he's brought down after a good gain. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. Breeze now on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
12.
Breeze again here on 2nd and 10. On the check down, he finds Kamara. It'll be a gain of 4. And just like that, it's 3rd down.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way. And really, we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
The Saints on 3rd down. They've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6.
Got it.
Again, they'll throw with Breeze. And incomplete as the screen there unsuccessful. So now 4th down coming up. So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. He hit his first. Now this from 43. And Lutz puts this one through. And that will tie things up as we head toward halftime. Well, maybe a nice psychological boost there just to get back to even with that field goal as we head towards half.
Coaching 101 always says at halftime, play it like it's 0-0 on the scoreboard. Well, in this case, it's level, right? Same score each side. Just start over. Now you've got the second half to play.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
These two teams in this first half, it's been fun. Back and forth, back and forth. Well, it's not fun for the defensive coordinators, but offensive coordinators are enjoying it.
Yeah, they're having streaks here, aren't they? Being able to put scores together and really bunch them up, and we have a tight game here. You know, we often talk about having the right shoes for the right turf. Today it's track shoes, because that's what we've seen with these offenses.
Yeah, it's been an absolute track meet so far, and fun to watch. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. So this helps to start a drive. After the penalty, it'll be 1st and 5.
Sammy!
Shotgun now for Breeze. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. They go play action here on 1st down.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Breeze leaves this one with Kamara. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. Now Breeze throwing on 2nd down. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal. Working from the gun, it's Breeze. Flush to his under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Gerald McCoy able to get in there and drop him for a 2-yard loss. Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. Breeze to throw on 2nd down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Eluding the pressure right. Fighting through. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Brent Grimes. And they're running. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. Past the 20, 10, and it's a pick six. He brings it back to the house for a Buccaneer TD.
That was an interception, but on the field, the guys who are picking it off, they're not saying that. What word are they using? It's Oski. And that means catch the ball and go the other way.
That's your vernacular. I've never heard anybody say Oski.
Ask around. They'll tell you.
Extra point good by Catanzaro. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And following the pick six, and they had decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
They told him, and they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Gerald McCoy is always going to be linked with Ndamukong Suh. They came into the NFL in the same draft class. There was a lot of debate about who was going to be the better defensive tackle. They just do it two different ways. McCoy, more movement, more elusiveness. That allowed him to make the play there for a short gain.
And a sideline pass. That's caught by Thomas. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. All the yards, completions, just another play that's a feather in the cap of the great career of Drew Brees.
And wasn't he supposed to be too small to be an effective quarterback in the NFL?
Yeah, how'd that work out?
Yeah, well, his footwork, I think, really sets him apart. Remember, he was a junior tennis champion, beat Andy Roddick, the future U.S. Open champion, back when they were in the juniors. I think that footwork really helps him be the great quarterback he is now.
And it's caught inside the 30. And he finally is out of bounds, but he's down inside the 20-yard line. A big-time play there for New Orleans. And even 40 yards. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive.
95-56.
A 10th carry for Kamara. And he'll take this down for about 4 yards, down to the 15. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout as there's a Saints player down here on the field. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back.
Kill!
On 2nd down, here's Brees. Over the middle, opens Thomas. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on 2nd and goal? They'll run here with Ingram. And a little bit of space there, takes it inside the 5 to the 3. Give him 4 on the carry there at 2nd and goal.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal.
Get set, get set. Over.
They'll look to run with Ingram. And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Mark Ingram, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Saints have cut it back within a score. Lutz with the extra point. And that'll cut the lead down to a touchdown. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. After the penalty, here's Freeman. And a nice run to get him past the original line of scrimmage. A gain of 7. It's 2nd and 8 now.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Off the play fake, Winston. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. The Bucs on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. From the gun, Winston. Airing this one out for Evans. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
I would dare say that these guys would have liked to have given their defense a little bit more rest since they gave up a touchdown their last time out. But the last one, man, that's not going to happen.
Yep, they're going to have to grab those helmets, get right back out there. This is taken around the 12. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
So Bree's going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at their own 26.
Got it. Got it.
They'll try to get the offense going with Kamara. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Now Breeze. Pitch made over the middle by Ginn. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down. Breeze now. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. 8 yards there and a first down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Now a handoff. Here's Kamara. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Here we go. Get set, get set.
Back now here live in New Orleans. It's the Saints who hold the football, but they're trailing as we begin the fourth quarter of play. From the gun, it's Breeze. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Thomas, the intended target, and it'll bring up third down.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. Now Breeze on third down. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to fourth down. He got out of bounds. That's a good thing, but still short of the first.
And now, since this brings up fourth down, the defensive play caller, grab your nerves, because now you don't want to be so amped up that you give them a first down by getting out of your lanes, but you also don't want to just lay back and let them have it easily.
Now Breeze, gotta have this one. And that is incomplete. The Saints' decision to go for it backfires. And the Bucs are going to take over with excellent field position to boot. Now the Buccaneers' offensive unit back out on the field. Still a lot that can happen, but you think they get points on this drive, even if it's just 3. Should wrap this one up.
And you got to love their starting field position. So if you're the play caller right now, being on the plus side of the 50, you're thinking exactly what you're saying. Get 3, get out of here with at least that. But, hey, you might have a chance to put 6 on the board and really take control.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, fourth quarter, maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. A handoff, Devontae Freeman. And he picks up about 6 as he gets this down to the 41. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
Winston from the gun on third down. The left side completion to Jones. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that's going to make it fourth down. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it. So that's a big one. Obviously, Charles makes it a 2-score game, his 3rd field goal of the game, able to knock it through.
Yeah, not exactly free and clear yet, but as a defense, you get to play a little bit looser, don't you? Because you do now have a little bit of a margin of error, don't you?
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Throwing now is Breeze. Being chased out left. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
The Saints on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
Hey, kill!
Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. Throwing on 1st down is Breeze. Buying time to his left. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The tight end Josh Hill was the target, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Breeze will try again on 2nd down. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Jason Pierre-Paul in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. 3rd and long now after the sack of Breeze, and the Saints up against it here. Here's Breeze. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
Good set. Check 31.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Looking deep downfield. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Justin Evans. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas. Both defenses have had their struggles, but they've been good enough to get them this lead, and another nice play there to help preserve the lead.
It's been a game of punch-counter-punch, hasn't it? All throughout. But this time, the big swing was taken, and it didn't land. Nice play by them on defense.
Let's go. Even.
They run, Devontae Freeman. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Back to the ground, this time with Jones. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much, as he's down to the 48. Credit the tackle to Kurt Coleman.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Bucs on third down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. From the shotgun, it's Winston. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Jones. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. That one good for 15 and a first. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on third down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
Winston now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. The give is to Jones. And not much running room. Down to the 32. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. They'll go again to Jones. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And this defense here going to burn their second timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. The Bucs on third down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Working out of the gun. Winston. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally did the front, just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. On 1st and 10, here's Breeze. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
His throw incomplete. He was trying to hit Thomas that time. 3rd down here.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, helped force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete.
Got it. Play it. Hey, easy. Watch the run.
Off the play fake to Kamara. It's Breeze. Escaping the pressure right. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And a shot taken on third down, unsuccessful. Fourth down now.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out.
Alert. 3 down. Check 24. Monday.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Flushed out right. Room here to run. He's got the first down and more past midfield. And he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down. Breeze now on first down. Oh, he's got him in wide open, complete. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. A really good pickup of 28 yards. They go play action here on first down. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
13. You go 21. Check.
Back to the air on second down. It's Breeze. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off down near the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, Charles, he's thrown 5 picks in a game before, and right now, after that one, he's standing on number 4.
And right now, your defensive coordinator is asking the offensive coordinator, can you do anything to slow this down? Because my guys have to keep running back out on the field, so play calling may come into it a little bit, maybe run the ball a little bit more, but a lot of it depends on the scoreboard. They may have to keep throwing it.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle at the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
Again, it's Jones. And some room to work. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 12, and that should just about wrap this one up. I guess he was saving his best for last, so to speak. Longest run of the day coming here in the fourth quarter right there.
And that type of run makes for a better night for him and his teammates, doesn't it? To be able to produce this late in the game can lead to some big smiles and satisfaction in the locker room after this one's over.
And partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, week 1. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build to a crescendo. But the best part for us is that crescendo lasts for a while. Opening game here, an entire season. We get into the playoffs, to the Super Bowl. I was really excited. I could barely sleep last night. I can't imagine being a player.
So for the Buccaneers, not much to complain about here. They come in and steal a victory in a tough place to play on a Sunday night. And they'll return home next week to take on the Philadelphia Eagles. Meanwhile, for New Orleans, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll try to make amends next week as they host the Cleveland Browns. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.